Wouldn't you rather just keep your whole dollar? This country had 10, 12, 15% growth rates every year, real growth rates, not measly 2.5%, 3% like we have now, for the first 100-plus years of its history, when the federal government was teeny tiny. It's got to go the other direction, not bigger. We're bankrupt. The dollar's plunging in value. Coming up, I'm going to get into the Russia situation and more, but let's just get through more of your great calls. It's always a great grab bag taking us in different directions. Let's talk to Scott in Florida. You're on the air, Scott. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex. Congratulations on the new addition to the Jones family.
Thank you. The Jones clan's getting bigger here.
I was actually calling in to tell you about some website I found called AmeroCurrency.com. You can go and look at the latest coins that they've engraved for the Amero.
Now, to be clear, though, that's a concept coin company. There's thousands of independent coin companies. That's not an official Amero currency, but we do have the official Amero symbols. It's been announced. It's in government documents.
Correct, but if you do a little reading on that page, the guy that they commissioned to make those coins actually worked on several of the state quarters. I thought that was interesting.
No. I mean, it was definitely commissioned as a concept coin for the government.
And I'd also like to comment on the guy who called in earlier, Alex from California, about the chemtrails. I work in Central Florida here at Air Force Base as a supportive role to the Kennedy Space Center. And since October, November, December of last year, the contrails were so thick that they said it was red tide, and people were wearing masks in and about town there.
I know.
And it was something else. You couldn't breathe. They'd work there all day. We'd be sick from the just gasping for air.
Well, I want to be clear about this. For those tuning in to think we're making this up, the government has declassified over 13,000 examples of where chemicals, biologicals, and radiologicals were sprayed on the U.S. Thousands of examples have been done to British citizens, killing U.S. and British citizens, releasing bioweapons in '68 in the New York subway. The people running our government, U.S. Code, Title 50, write this down, U.S. Code, Title 50, Chapter 32, subsection 1520A, paragraph B. The great part about this being archived on the web at the podcast that we send out to podcast members, it's free, is you can rewind that, write it down, go check it. It's in, U.S. Code. They say they can test lethal weapons on us. Now when you read it, it says banning it. But then down lower it says, in Part B, unless it's for research. Okay, so it's admitted they're doing it to us.
Research.
Pardon me?
Who defines research?
Well, exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. Listen, there are so many. Well, the government does. A few months ago, a listener called me and he said, "Have you looked up this term?" And I can't remember the exact term. It was something like passive and non-passive aerosol testing. It had some technical term, and like millions of links came up. All these universities, all these government agencies, and it showed radar going, look, here's where we're spraying off the coast of California, the barium, and then it does this to the weather. And I'm so busy, and I told my writers, I sent them the links, I said, do a story on this, and nobody did it. Can you, the listeners, go pull all those articles in mainstream government sites and maybe do something? And I mean, that's the great part about InfoWars now is you can post your own articles. It's in the reader section, but I'm so busy I can't even, in fact, listeners, somebody call in. I know we've got one line open here. Call in if you know the term. I know I've reported on it. I've read some stories on air, government documents, and then I have a semi-photographic. It's not anymore. It's not as good as it used to be. What is that term? It'll pop in my head in a second. 877-590-5525. 877-590-5525. I got to hurry here and get to your calls. As good as your calls are, it's a catch-22. If I don't hurry to them and only give you a little bit of time, we'll have time to get to the next person. Let's go ahead and talk to Tom in Iowa. Tom, you're on the air worldwide.
Hi, Alex. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, listen. I was just thinking about the economy and how it's going down and it's being engineered right now.
Yes, according to the World Bank document. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just thinking, this is how they're doing it. I mean, this is how they're going to put the super in because, they're going to need millions of people to build that thing. So they're going to have, because I just read Jerome Corsi's Late Great USA book.
Yeah, they're going to have work brigades where you're going to have to work for the government, basically, if you didn't have savings. And that's why 10% of the college grads are already Homeland Security now. They're shifting the economy over to spies, police, checkpoints, surveillance, or government make-work projects. Just total socialism. But, again, the corporations will get the profits. It's capitalism for the Fortune 500. It's enslavement for us.
Absolutely.
See, people get confused. Sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of college, I'm in college right now, and I'm a science major. And I was in my chemistry class the other day, And one of our experiments was like, pretend you're in the Department of Homeland Security and there's a terrorist threat, and you're looking to look for the nuclear bomb and stuff like that. You need to detect a chemical and things like that, and then you need to find...
Yeah, all the textbooks, all the nomenclature.
In the schools, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate your call. You know, my wife had a baby 3 or 4 days ago and been at the hospital for a couple days. A day and a half while we were there, I ended up watching 3 or 4 hours of TV a day, something I don't do. Every Discovery Channel show, every History Channel show was about tracking, satellite tracking, the government watching you for your safety, checkpoints, how being spied on is good, how the Second Amendment is bad. I mean, just everything I watched, or I'd flip to a fiction show, and it'd have messages in it. Again, I've been using this example a lot. I did it in a TV report a few weeks ago for PrisonPlanet.tv members about how go to the store, go to the Toys R Us or go to a Walgreens, every toy for little boys that's G.I. Joe or combat toys, none of it says USA. It says Global Peacekeeper, UN Peacekeeper. How do 50 different companies all no longer say USA? I mean, that's how bad the propaganda is. It's everywhere. For those that doubt me, Marvel Comics a month ago announced that they're in a UN program to send every kid in America free UN Marvel comic book, Making World Government Look Good. It said in the press release, to make global government look good, all your children in public schools will get free comic books teaching them the UN and world government's good. But then they tell adults it's not kosher to talk about, and it's kooky. You see how that works? And then adults know it's true, but they won't talk about it because their neighbor will think, see, they're neutralizing you where you won't talk about issues. Now, if you read the UN press release and follow some of the links, they go, this is no big deal for those that are criticizing us. Marvel Comics has been putting out UN propaganda for 50 years. This is just a bigger program. Every toy maker says UN troops or global peacekeeper. See, your kids are growing up fantasizing about this. They're role-playing. It's total brainwashing everywhere. I've seen 2 separate issues of Time Magazine for Kids given to all the kids free in public schools, teaching them that taking microchips is good, but your parents aren't cool. It actually says your parents are backwards and don't understand, but you're cool. You're going to take a chip. I mean, that's propaganda. It's everywhere. Aren't you angry they're trying to manipulate you? Let's talk to Chris in Florida, then Robert, Don, and others. Go ahead, Chris. You're on the air.
Oh, hey, Alex.
Yes.
Hey, congratulations on
Thank you.
the addition to your family.
Thank you.
God bless you. What I wanted to say was I just ran into Joe Scarborough and Newt Gingrich when the Republicans were having the debate.
2 fake conservatives. They're to neutralize conservatives and control us under the globalist agenda.
And what I did was I always listen to your show with a piece of paper and pencil, and I write down what you say. And what was funny was when I asked Joe Scarborough to sign the piece of paper, he saw New World Order and all the stuff you'd been saying. And suddenly the smile dissipated from his face, and he kind of took a step back. He then signed it. I talked to Newt Gingrich. I waited. He was signing books at the local bookstore. I asked him if he knew who you were.
Stay there. I want to hear about this on the other side. Stay there. Don't hang up. We'll come back to you, Chris, then Ray, Don, Robert, and others. In fact, I think that's probably going to be it. I'll take 5 or 6 more calls. Or if somebody's got that chemtrail question, can answer the name of the scientific term so you can see all the declassified admissions. I need that to do a keyword search. 877-590-5525. We'll be right back. Stay with us.